The ripple effect. No kings, tariffs, and the American ledger setting the stage. Massive protests are a response to a new political and economic reality marked by aggressive trade policy and executive actions. Introducing the question, how does this turbulence affect the average American?
America's big, America's strong. The fight can live when they're young. We're sitting though they start feel again.
Explaining the Trump turbulence tax. Tariffs double-edged sword, meant to bring back jobs, but instead raises costs for businesses, absorbing margins, and consumers, sticker shock, e.g., in cars, appliances. Highlighting the unpredictable trade environment for key industries like agriculture.
Some kids don't have shoes to wear, some don't have enough to share.
Examining the financial strain, rising national debt from tax cuts and decreased revenues. Concerns over the deficit and its effect on U.S. Treasury yields. The political debate over who benefits, corporate tax breaks, and who loses, social services like food banks.
Some kids don't have shoes to wear, some don't have enough to share. We see the pain, we see the rain, but we can build some hope again.
The ripple on jobs and inflation connecting policy to daily life. Slowing job growth and rising costs of living, inflation in food, healthcare premiums. Highlighting the government shutdown's direct, immediate economic pain on federal workers and the communities they live in. The protesters' anger is rooted in pocketbook issues.
Some kids don't have shoes to wear, some don't have enough to share. We see the pain, we see the rain, but we can build.
Exploring market volatility reveals how investor sentiment shifts in response to major policy changes and economic signals. In periods of deregulation and fiscal stimulus, particularly through corporate tax cuts, the S&P 500 often responds with an initial surge, reflecting optimism about profit growth and economic expansion. However, as uncertainty surrounding trade policies and immigration reforms intensifies, that early confidence tends to erode. Investors begin reassessing long-term risks, leading to heightened volatility and cautious repositioning. The market's initial endorsement thus gives way to deeper anxiety about sustainability, global competitiveness, and policy consistency.
Enough to share. We see the pain, we see the rain, but we can build some hope again. America.
The global impact of shifting U.S. trade policies has been profound, compelling nations such as Switzerland and others to reconsider the extent of their economic dependence on the American market.
Hope again. America's big, America's strong. The fight can live when they.
As Washington imposes unpredictable, high tariffs, such as the striking 145% tariff on Chinese imports, international businesses face mounting uncertainty and operational risk. These measures threaten not only profit margins, but also the very survival of firms integrated into global supply chains. The resulting sentiment among U.S. allies and partners is one of growing unease, a realization that the once reliable big brother of global trade can no longer be counted on for stability or consistency, forcing countries to diversify alliances and seek new economic anchors.
Again. America's big, America's strong. The fight can live when they're young. We're sitting though they start feel again.
The non-economic, long-term impacts of political decisions extend far beyond immediate policy shifts. One of the most profound effects is the politicization of the judiciary, where courts, meant to be impartial guardians of the Constitution, become battlegrounds for ideological control.
We see the rain, but we can build some hope again. America's big, America's strong. The fight can live when they're young.
This influence can last for generations, as lifetime appointments shape legal precedents and redefine the boundaries of justice. Simultaneously, the systematic dismantling of federal programs weakens the social safety net, reducing public trust in government institutions and eroding the balance of power. These developments often coincide with direct attacks on civil rights and inclusion initiatives, undermining decades of progress toward equality and representation. Over time, such trends threaten the very foundation of democratic governance, replacing collaboration and fairness with partisanship and exclusion. The result is a nation increasingly divided, where justice and opportunity depend not on shared principles, but on political allegiance.
Some hope again. America's big, America's strong. The fight can live when they're young.
Highlighting the No Kings movement's unique characteristics: massive scale, geographic diversity, and sustained nonviolent nature. The protests are a sign of vibrant civil resistance and a sustained internal pressure against the administration. The movement's potential to drive political change through elections and policy. Synthesis: the current political environment creates extreme economic whiplash and deep societal fractures. The protest movement is a major variable in the equation, a collective voice trying to shift the country's trajectory. The video closes on an open question. Will the pressure of the people or the policies of the administration determine the final balance of the American ledger?